So let me get this straight. Hamas commits a horrific event, a massacre, and Israel's at fault. Israel's the one being demonized. Everything is being turned around. Are we living in an episode of The Twilight Zone? Let me try to simplify this by creating a scenario here. Let's say there's two people, man A and man B. They both have companies and they both decided to work together. Now, for whatever reason, during negotiations, the deal went south and man B was very upset. He was so upset that he went over to man A's office, started trashing it, raped a woman, and killed a few people. And then when the police came, the media, the public opinion, sympathized with man B after his catastrophic behavior and said, well, he's upset and that's why he did it. And some people would say, well, it's justified because man A didn't hold his end of the bargain or whatever it was. How ridiculous does that sound? It sounds very ridiculous. I feel ridiculous saying it. What is happening right now is that most Palestinian supporters don't want the attention to get away from their narrative, from their agenda, which is to wipe Israel off the map. So even though Israel was the victim on October 7th, they're steering away the attention from them and back onto themselves using lies, propaganda, and gaslighting just to do anything to achieve their goal of wiping Israel off the map. And it is disgusting. Okay, and now there's this all these talks and demands for a ceasefire. Really? Okay, if you're a leader of a country and your people went through a massacre, what are you going to do? Aren't you going to do anything in your power to make sure that they're safe and that this doesn't happen again? And this is why they have to take down Hamas once and for all. What ceasefire? And the hypocrisy is crazy. Okay, Hamas is the one who started, but now you have Russia, of all countries, demanding a ceasefire, saying that the Israeli aggression is are war crimes or whatever. Excuse me, but can you imagine if we demand that Ukraine initiate a ceasefire with Russia? Russia's the aggressor. They started. And you want Ukraine to initiate a ceasefire and bend the knee? How about China? The way they treat their Uyghur Muslim community. Aren't they discriminating against them? Aren't they ethnic cleansing of them? Now, I keep hearing from the other side, the pro-Palestinian side, that Nazi Germany and Israel are the same and that there's no difference. That is a spit in the face to the Jewish nation. That is a disgusting comparison, and it is not true, simply not true. They say that Israel and Nazi Germany both engaged in genocide and stealing land. Well, let's look at history. Let's talk about this. Hitler, in a little over 6 years, took almost all of Europe and almost eliminated all the Jews in Europe in just a little over 6 years. Israel gained their independence 75 years ago. During that time, if they wanted to ethnic cleanse and kill all the Palestinians, they would have done it. If anything, the Palestinian population keeps rising. Okay? The land that Israel did acquire from war, for example, with Egypt and Jordan, they returned that land in the name of peace. Hitler rounded the Jews up and gassed them to death. Israel warns Palestinians to get out of the way. They give them plenty of time to evacuate before they strike. And they treat wounded Palestinians in their hospitals in Israel. So tell me, how is it exactly the same? It is a stupid comparison. And again, they'll say anything they have to say without context because morality and logic and common sense, it's out the window, hoping that people on TikTok and Instagram will listen and just believe it. And that's why I'm asking people. I'm always asking people, please really do your research here. Really look into the situation. To quickly circle back, as far as Israel and the Palestinian land situation, the so-called 1967 borders that everybody wants Israel to return to, it's very unlikely because of what they have to deal with. All right? Think about it. In the 2000s, they gave Gaza back. Hamas was elected. Read Hamas's charter. They say that they want all Jews to die. They say that the only Jews that will survive are the Jews that are going to be useful to them, doctors, etc., things of that nature. Okay? That's their plan. They're not lying. They're not hiding it. That's what they want. The people in Gaza elected this. So how can, and ever since they got elected, by the way, they've been shooting rockets to Israel nonstop until we saw what happened on October 7th, which was a catastrophe, a massacre. Because before that, people were mocking Israel, like, why are you so bent out of shape? You have the Iron Dome. But can you imagine living like that and constant harassment? Back in the 90s, okay, when there was less restrictions within the borders, Israelis, I should say, experienced terrorism frequently, suicide bombings nearly every day. It was just not sustainable. So with everything I just said, tell me, who here is trying to ethnic cleanse who? Who here is trying to occupy who? Who here is trying to murder innocent people? Anyone with common sense and logic knows this. The people that don't are uninformed, uneducated on the matter, or people that are emotional, thinking irrationally because they have a dog in the fight. And then there are people that don't want to use common sense and logic because they want to believe all the bad about Israel and the Jews that they can believe intentionally because they're Jew haters. They want to believe this. I am appalled by how Jews are being attacked on social media, out on the streets, by our politicians in these here United States. Yes, I am talking about the so-called squad. They should be ashamed of themselves. Certain celebrities that are pro-Palestinian and have... Listen, being pro-Palestinian is fine, but they won't even do something as simple as condemn Hamas and to sympathize with the Jewish people after their horrific attack on October 7th. It is disgusting to see how much hatred we Jews are going through after October 7th's catastrophe. You would think there are a lot of Palestinian supporters that are chanting, gas the Jews.
Multiple overseas media outlets shared this video posted by the Australian Jewish Association, purportedly showing some protesters chanting anti-Semitic phrases outside Sydney's iconic landmark.
You have people showing pictures of swastikas, people showing pictures of dead Jews and laughing and mocking at Jewish protesters. Beating up Jewish protesters. Mobs getting together, going out on witch hunts to hunt down Jews. What is going on here? Outside of the marches, you have stores that put up signs saying no Jews allowed. You have people walking out on the streets, intentionally tearing down the signs that show the missing Israelis. And when they get confronted, they retaliate with such hatred.
Galba. All right, I think that's good. Have a good day.
Stay here.
You,
Have a good
you,
day.
and burn in hell.
Stay here. Stay here.
No, don't worry. We're going this way, so tell the police to find us up here.
These are ripping posters down. These are innocent civilians in Israel.
You, Israel.
Bitch. What? Fuck you. These are our family members. We have family there.
Fuck you, bitch. Fuck you too, bitch. Fuck you. And Israel.
Don't rip down these posters.
Fuck you in that propaganda.
On the social media side, you have people praising Hamas, saying that there's no difference between them and Hamas, that they're one, that what Hamas did is justify the attacks on October 7th, that they're freedom fighters. Now remember, these people that are saying that live amongst us in the free world, in the Western world.
Hamas are Palestinians, okay? All of us Hamas,
No, you cannot say that.
Hamas is not a terrorist group.
Oh, it isn't, man.
First of all, Hamas is not a terrorist group. Hamas is not a terrorist group.
What is it, like a motorcycle club? Or?
It is a resistance that has been fuming for 75 years of colonialism, of occupation, of murder, of rape, of little children, of women. That's what they are. They are resistance.
Do you think Canada is a colonialist country too? Or?
Everything that they do is justified.
Including what happened last week?
Every single thing they have done is justified.
Free Palestine is slowly becoming a dog whistle to discriminate Jews. This is like 1930s Germany all over again. And, you know, people may think I'm overreacting, and I've had people tell me throughout my life that I'm overreacting when it comes to anti-Semitism or Jew hatred, whatever you want to call it. But am I? What people don't realize when they learn about the Holocaust is that they see the whole event in hindsight. Jews were discriminated against by the Nazis for years before World War II even started. And it's hard to see or feel that because people learn about it in a 40-minute class. And what's concerning is that now, here in modern times in 2023, this can happen again, or even something worse, God forbid, especially when you have A-list celebrities like Kanye West turning on us. I cannot believe this, but I actually have people reaching out to me out of nowhere. They don't, you know, I haven't spoken to them in a while. They don't say, hi, how are you? Nothing like that. They just get straight to the point. Hey, by the way, they say, hey, by the way, I heard the babies weren't truly beheaded. It was a lie. Or they say, like, oh, how about the innocent Palestinians? How come you're not talking about that? Or they say, oh, Israel wanted to intentionally get attacked. This was all part of the plan. I guess it's obvious where their priorities are, because all they're interested in is showing me how bad Israel is. They don't even, you know, ask how I'm doing or if I have family in Israel, if everybody's okay. And what I don't get is, what are they trying to suggest here? That Hamas isn't so bad because apparently they didn't truly behead the babies? So that means rape and murder is okay? Is that something that should be overlooked? Does that make them more righteous? What is going on here? I would like to thank all my Jewish friends, my not-Jewish friends, everybody that reached out to show support, to express their sympathy, to ask how I'm doing, to see how if my family's doing in Israel. And it means the world, really. And I also want to thank my friends that are Palestinian supporters, because they reached out because they wanted to engage in a dialogue. They wanted to give me the opportunity to say how I feel and give me the opportunity to listen to the way they feel, with the hopes of finding common ground, to agree that ultimately peace is important and the death and the killing and the aggression needs to stop. And hopefully, with talks like this, we can spark the mind in the future that will help the world change for the better. And I hate when people are making this out to be a Jew-Muslim thing. This is not a Jew-Muslim thing. This is not even a Jew-Arab thing. This is more of a Jewish-Palestinian thing, and that's because the Palestinian leadership betrayed and is feeding lies and propaganda to their people. Okay? Jews and Muslims have a lot more in common than popular belief. We're half brothers or cousins, whatever you want to call it. We believe in the same God. We pray to the same God. We respect the Muslims. The reason why people believe that this is a Jew-Muslim thing is because you have people that are exploiting religion just to push their agenda and just to gain support, which is a total shame. You know, I'm starting to believe that this is no longer an Israeli-Palestinian thing. Recently, I've come to understand this is a good and evil thing. And just like the world united against the Nazis at one point, I feel like now the world needs to unite against Hamas, because Hamas is the problem. And once Hamas is eliminated, then the Israelis and the Palestinians truly have a shot at peace and a brighter future. I stand with Israel. I pray for Israel. I also stand and pray with the Palestinians as well. I pray that they're finally liberated from Hamas. I pray that they have a better government with better leadership. I pray for a chance that they can coexist with the Israelis with love and peace and acceptance and prosperity. A brighter future for all. Thank you.